the Bowels of Netflix, where your fearless co-hosts Isaac and Larry force each other to watch the worst pieces of shit on Netflix. We will go over every bad edit, all the broken dialogue, all the wooden acting, and laugh along the way, because this is the Bowels of Netflix! Alright, and welcome to the Bowels of Netflix. I'm Isaac, and with me as always is my fearless co-host Larry. How are you doing this week, Larry?
So I've pretty much used up all the comedy for these opening bits I have in my whole life. That tank is totally dry. But
this is episode 76.
Frequently we keep talking about things before the show that lead well into the talking about them on the podcast. We were just talking about getting dicks caught in zippers, because that, believe it or not, folks, we're not that different from real life as we are on the show.
No, surprisingly not.
It's just cranked up a little bit. But I was going to talk about pissing while standing up as a 30-year-old man. I'm over it. I'm done with it. All I do is spray piss everywhere. It's the worst.
I've been thinking about the transition.
It's just, like, every time I do it now, all I'm doing is getting piss in my pants. That's all that happens. There's always that one drop of asshole piss that gets into my fucking pants. And then I gotta go to my professional job and sit down with piss in my pants. like a fucking fifth grader, pee pants.
You could... I mean, there's obviously the shake method, and then there's the milk it from in between the balls.
Milk it from in between. I have stood and shook for minutes, and still that asshole drop always happens. Yeah. So if I wants to get to the pants, it's like I can release my last breath.
Yeah. If you're sufficiently milking it, too, that's also way too close to masturbation for me.
I don't want to talk about milking while I'm standing at a urinal. There's no part of that that's good. So, yeah, no. Yeah. So, I know this is very relatable to any of our female listeners. But, like, yeah.
Some of them stand when they piss.
I'm over standing up to piss. It's only, that's a young man's game, and I'm not a young man anymore.
So, what's your next move? Catheter?
No. That's the worst thing that could ever happen to me, honestly.
You gonna lay down and piss?
I'm thinking about it. I know the audience can't see me looking around thinking about it, but I am thinking about it. I don't know.
I guess if you had a table set up above the toilet with a hole cut in it,
yeah,
that could work.
Actually, that'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be comfy.
The second to last wedding I was at, we tested out with one of the guys who was very drunk whether or not you could walk and piss. Because my best friend, who was very drunk, was insisting it was impossible. And then another guy at the wedding we never met before, who had had enough beer to think this was hilarious, went and tried it in the dark. And we just heard a guy laughing and walking and pissing at the same time in the pouring rain, in the dark, in a rented suit that was certainly covered in piss he had to return.
Oh my god.
That's the best part of that whole wedding. I drove a round trip of 14 hours for that wedding, and that was the best part. Anyway, we're the Bowels of Netflix.
We are two friends who hate each other, and we make each other watch the worst movies we possibly can find on Netflix. Oh, God. We exist on the internet. We got a Facebook. We got a Twitter. We're the only Bowels of Netflix in your life. You know it's true. Mm-hmm. Don't love anyone else. Don't you dare.
Curb stomp every other Bowels of Netflix you ever meet.
Seriously. Report them to the FCC for being not us.
Yeah, get them strikes on YouTube.
Send us an email, bowelsofnetflix@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. And rate, subscribe, hide your grandmother's medication until she subscribes. Get her on that podcast train, because grannies for bowels is that's the new hashtag, because we're gonna get all the grannies.
That's gonna be part of the summer of stink. We're gonna really make an appeal to older people.
Yep, definitely. Well, a discount if you're an AARP member.
Our humor definitely translates to older generations very well.
50% off the podcast if you're over 55.
Yeah, that's right. Which means you only have to listen to 55% of it.
You could listen to it twice as fast.
Oh,
God. This week, I'm covering a little Eli Roth horror movie called Knock Knock. Excellent title, first of all.
Yep. Oh.
This came out in 2015. Very small budget, which makes sense based on the movie. $2 million. Worldwide gross was $6.3 million, so it was a very small movie, but it made its money back.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the you know, that seems pretty cheap. I guess Keanu didn't get paid a lot.
Probably not. It seemed like it was probably filmed very quickly. Like, I bet it was filmed in less than a month.
Yeah, there's like, 3 sets in the whole movie?
It's really just the house. Yeah. And then, like, a couple places where, like, he drives someone to.
Right. Yeah, I saw bits and pieces. And like I said, the reason I picked this is because my good friend and his girlfriend told me how it was so awful they couldn't even finish it.
It's definitely bad, but there's parts of it that are okay.
Yeah.
So we'll get into it a little bit.
Yeah, I was more curious. They would only tell me so much, and I was more curious than anything. And it definitely wasn't good from what I saw.
It's an interesting movie. It's interesting.
You're too easily entertained.
I am. This is true. And there's boobies, so there's that.
Yeah, I knew. That's always my fear. I always have to look. I must look. The NSA must think I'm a 14-year-old boy. Because I have basically typed in whatever your movie of the week is and boobies ? Into incognito tabs every time to see if there's any boobies. Because that is always I'm saying boobies like I'm fucking 14. I always check because I'm always I know that's a big it's an immediate up.
Well, while there were some, I definitely could have gone with more mammary glands in this film.
Okay, all right, thank you, Professor.
Oh,
like
boy.
I'm 45-year-old professor talking to his 18-year-old students.
Surprise, surprise. What is this movie about? Oh, IMDb is a 4.9. That's a little low. Usually they're about 5. Rotten Tomato critic is 36%. And Rotten Tomato audience is only 20%. That's one of those rare times where the audience score is less than the critic score.
It seems like critic bait to me.
Yeah, and
it's like, Eli Roth, right away. I'm sure he got points just for being Eli Roth. And then, it seemed artsy-fartsy horror,
Yeah, and yeah, probably if you're a horror buff, and I think Eli Roth does this a lot, and I'm definitely not a horror buff. I like some of the good classic horror movies, but I definitely, it's not usually in my wheelhouse. No.
It's all trash.
So I'm sure if I was a horror buff, there'd be a lot of subtlety and nods and homages to things that are actually pretty clever.
Yeah,
I think he's known for doing that.
You brought that up in Cabin Fever when I reviewed that a lot, but there's one good horror movie to me, and it's Cabin in the Woods. Everything else is garbage. So
The Shining. Come on, Larry. The Shining.
Is The Shining horror? Yeah, I would
guess
call
it is. Are you kidding?
Yeah, all right. I think of it more as a thriller, but I guess it's horror. Yeah.
There's
do you
some
mean
other good
do you mean
ones.
the original Shining or the Stephen King revision of Shining? Which I can't even. That the revision he did is so terrible.
It's more faithful to the book, but
it's awful.
Yeah, Kubrick
did him a lot of favors.
Kubrick, won that argument.
Yeah.
All right, so we open up with a very slow, Steadicam pan around a very nice house filled with kitschy fucking sculptures and a bizarre abundance of large canvas print photos of the happy family hanging on the walls. It's kind of an economical way of conveying the happy family. We're getting a little tour through their house, and we're seeing the set design was really good. It's kind of a fancy house, but it looks very lived in. It looks that kind of posh family, and they have pictures everywhere. But it's so many pictures, and I guess there's a point later, but I don't know. It just seemed like way too much. Every hallway you turn down, above everyone's bed is a 24 by 36 framed canvas photograph of the family.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I could see getting a nice family portrait and have one hang above the fireplace or something, but multiple canvas photos of your family? That's just weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. It seems a little. That seems excessive. I think you could have more than two, more than one one above the mantle and then one somewhere above the bed. I think you can have a couple, but if it's extensive, I don't know.
I definitely don't want a photo of my future children staring down at me from the head of our bed while I defile their mother.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay, I'm with you there.
Oh, got him.
Now, how do you get out? You take a photo of yourself defiling their mother and hang it over their bed. You got to flip and reverse it.
That's a good idea.
Subvert them expectations there, boy.
Damn straight. Larry, can you take some under ball shots for me?
Of myself or of you?
No, of me defiling their future mother.
I mean, yeah, all right. I was just, tape a GoPro to the cat. Why?
Well, yeah.
Why get the trouble to fly me down there and have to pay me for a producer credit and all that?
I would have to put cat treats in my ass because I want a lot of taint footage. But yeah.
I'm gonna when we're all commiserating at your funeral, because I assume you're gonna die before me, probably in the next 20 minutes if all goes according to plan. It's gonna be at your funeral, looking down at a glass, just shaking my head he wanted a lot of taint footage. If I have anything to say about him, I could say that. A lot of taint footage. Fuck.
You must deliver my eulogy, sir. And
One can only
mostly
hope.
it should be about taint footage.
That'll go over like a lead balloon.
So the wife is climbing over Keanu and is about to put his fat cock in her mouth when the two children, who look like they were purchased from a Swedish orphanage, burst into the room with a cake and a Father's Day present.
Oh, so this is your future life.
They're blonde, so no.
Okay. You got me there.
But yeah, so it's a little boy, little girl. They're like 8-ish. I don't know how to size up children anymore. It's a skill in the past.
That's a young man's game.
For me, it's either child, frightening teenager, or ooh, I can boink you.
Gross.
So yeah, the present is a fucking old timey alarm clock with like the two bells on top of it and the clock face.
Oh God.
But the stupid kids put pictures of them and little art shit on all the numbers of the clock.
Oh, my family had one of those.
Oh, I hate your family.
I don't know. I don't think I don't have any feelings about that. It's like, okay, well, I feel like if anything, it's like a scam to sell clock faces. But I mean,
yeah.
I don't, whatever. Pictures are pictures.
Keep your useful items just as they are, as useful items, and have your fucking little art bullshit just be art bullshit. Don't fucking combine it.
You sound like me right now.
Artsy, crafty bullshit fucking kids.
I think the problem is I wish that I was a person who took more pictures, but I don't. And so, like, people who do take a lot of pictures, I'm kind of like, I don't even want to say envious. I think that's jealousy. I don't know what it is. So maybe it's that, but I'm a little more forgiving of that, I guess.
Don't put it on a clock is all I'll say. Fucking goddamn it.
Listen, somebody at fucking, not H&R Block, Hallmark made a great sale that day, is all. They sold the clock with the fucking faces for face. Oh God, I'm drunk.
So Keanu says how disappointed he is in them, the children, for the stupid present, and then chases them around the house with a baseball bat like Jack fucking Torrance.
Is his dick flapping around while this is happening?
No, I guess she didn't. His cock wasn't out. She was like kissing down his tummy, like to the cock. That old move. We know what you're doing, ladies. We know what you're doing.
That old chestnut. I had her break up with me that way. She kissed down my chest and then down the bed and out the door. I never saw her again. As far as I know, she's still doing it somewhere.
She's just kissing her way through life now. But yeah, he should be rock hard, so that's kind of awkward. And it's this whole Keanu, and he's the worst part of this movie. He's so bad at acting. Oh my God.
Yeah, see, I don't hate Keanu Reeves. So, this is interesting.
He's fine in his, like, serious tough guy roles. Neo, he's perfect for. John Wick, I haven't really seen, but I know he's beloved for that role, and I think it's a fairly similar tough guy serious role, right?
Yeah, John Wick sounds great, but I've never seen it.
Yeah.
John Wick, like, sounds like a good movie, and apparently 2 and 3 are, like, they jump off the deep end of absurdity so quickly that they, like, even though they're horrendous, they're great because of how stupid they are. And, yeah, I do
need to see them.
Yeah, he's supposed to be really good in that, but I haven't seen those either.
But yeah, him playing a goofy dad is the cringiest thing I have ever seen in my life. It
seems like an odd role. So when he chases them around, is he like trying to be cute? Like, I'll get you kids. Everybody's
and
like,
he's got this
happy.
whole thing because they cut him a slice of cake and like mush it in his face. He's got cake on his face, and he's like, "Oh, the monster's gonna get you!" And he like pulls out his claws and chases them around.
I said it before: children are the worst, and you're all dumb for having them.
Yeah, amen. But
fucking morons.
It's so cringy. But just remember the monster thing that'll come up again.
No. I'm really afraid to hear what the fucking conceit of this movie is.
Oh, I don't even know, man. I don't even know.
Oh, man.
And then he like goes back into the bedroom and is like, hey, wife, it's Father's Day. Can you finish sucking me off? And she's like, I think she's a Chilean actress, and she's got a thick accent. And she's like, no, Keanu, I can't. I don't even know what that accent is.
Oh, fuck. Wow. I don't know what a Chilean accent sounds like, but I know that wasn't it.
It's Spanish-y.
Okay.
But instead, this is her accent. No, Keanu, the kids are awake. I can't suck you off now. I'll do it on Monday. I promise. And they're like about to have an argument. And he's like, it's been 3 weeks. And she's like, oh, and then they're like, no, okay, let's not fight. Yeah, you can suck me off on Monday.
Okay.
But he's, not quite sexually satisfied. We're sort of setting that up.
Okay. All right.
We find out Keanu has an injured shoulder. He had shoulder surgery recently. There's kind of a lot of info dump. And it's not terribly. Like, I'm kind of going to give you a bunch of the info now, but it's sort of integrated into the dialogue.
Okay, sure.
So it works. Eli Roth's not a terrible writer. He knows the basics.
Yeah.
He's
okay.
just got weird ways of doing things.
I haven't seen evidence of that personally, but okay. I'll take your word for it.
He's been through a couple writing classes, I would bet. So Keanu's wife is a sculptor, and that's why there's sculptures all around the house. Her assistant shows up, and we learn that her newest sculpture, which is drying out on the patio, is supposed to be moved to the gallery tomorrow. The assistant is a chunky black dude who's super friendly and jokes around with the family a lot. He says, and the mom and the kids are going down to the beach for the weekend, but Keanu has to stay home and work on his architecture stuff, because he's an architect, so that. But so the assistant jokes around and says to the kids, your dad and I are going to have a crazy party while you're away, wink, wink, and it's like this fun, jokey thing. But remember that. We'll come back up.
Isn't she going with them? Oh, no, she's going to the gallery. I thought they were. Isn't she and the kids going together?
To the beach.
Yeah. Well,
no, the assistant says.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
That's all good. But yeah, so the assistant's just, we're going to have a crazy Father's Day party while you guys are away.
All right.
And yeah, they're going to the beach, but Keanu has to stay home, and he's getting physical therapy from someone that the wife knows, who's going to come over to the house tomorrow to do physical shoulder therapy.
Okay.
And Larry, because this movie is called Knock Knock, I have a few Knock Knock jokes peppered in here that I found on the old internet.
God damn it, I was afraid of this. All right, carry on.
So, Larry, knock knock.
Who's there?
Cow says.
Cow says who?
No, you fucking idiot. Cows say moo.
The worst part is when I see them coming, but I have to do it anyway. They're the worst jokes because I'm a hostage to the joke.
There's only like a dozen.
Only a dozen?
Okay, it's not that much.
Christ.
We cut to later that night, and Keanu, alone at home, is working on his architecture project on his iMac. This seriously must have been sponsored by Apple, because there's so many iPhones and iPads and iMacs. Like, God damn it.
Can I predict what's about to happen?
Sure.
He's about to jerk off.
No.
Oh, okay.
He's giving into other needs. He's sipping a glass of red wine, and he pulls out a little metal pipe and is about to smoke some hash or something. It's not really quite made clear.
Okay.
But then there's a knock on the door.
Okay.
Keanu goes and opens the door to see two young, sexy, scantily clad ladies, drenched in the pouring rain, standing there asking where the Gregory's house is, because they're trying to get to a party.
Uh-huh.
And they don't have the exact address. Keanu doesn't recognize the name of any of his neighbors, but he says, after some back and forth, says the girls can come in and dry off, and use his iPad to look up the address, to like hit someone up on Facebook or whatever.
Use his iPad, sponsored by Apple, California product.
So as bad as Keanu's acting is, the two girls, young women, I just call them girls because their age is meant to be confusing.
Oh, okay, that's great.
The brunette is played by Lorenza Izzo, which she had a small part in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think she was one of the
one of the hippies.
Yeah, one of the hippies.
Okay, yeah, it was a bunch of young women. So she's
kind of been around. She was actually Eli Roth's wife during the shoot. They were married for like 5 years.
Not anymore,
but have since split up, unfortunately. And the blonde is played by Ana de Armas, who's been in a few bigger roles. She was in Knives Out, and she was in, I think, the new Blade Runner. She was like the animatronic or the computer sexy time person. I don't know. She's gotten
master
more famous.
of his language craft.
She's gotten more famous since this role, but they've both been still doing stuff, and they are good in this movie. Their performances, I think, are great. Like the characters are kind of weird and stupid and over the top, but they sell them in the way they need to for the character.
Yeah, and horror movies are, you kind of want that in a way.
Yeah, definitely. But they are very much a bright spot.
Okay, well, good. Well, nah, not good for me, but fuck. Actually, wait. Shit. I'm not happy about this.
The girls find out they are completely on the wrong side of town, but Keanu offers to get them an Uber. Unfortunately,
is he like in the sticks or what?
It's set up like he's in the Hollywood Hills or something like that.
Okay.
But
right.
There's definitely not other houses around. The movie was actually filmed in Chile.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently, like it says on Wikipedia, Eli Roth thinks filming in Chile is easier than filming in America.
They probably
doesn't say why.
I'm sure there's fucking some reason related to money.
Yeah,
taxes or laws, or you can make people work without paying them for longer.
So, yeah, unfortunately, the Uber won't be there for 45 minutes. The girls ask if they can quickly dry their clothes off in the dryer. Keanu kind of, hesitates at first, because they're, sexy, wet young ladies, and he's a married man. But he makes some tea and gets the sexy young ladies into some bathrobes while he throws their clothes in the dryer. The sexy young ladies then put on a record, and there's a whole thing where he used to be a DJ, and he's got a whole bunch of records and, a whole DJ console. And, when he's working on his iMac, thank you, Apple, on the architecture stuff, he's, got records playing in the background and shit like that.
That's so... Oh, my God. That's so fucking, avant-garde filmmakery. I've been rolling my eyes ever since I'm thinking about it. It's just so... Of course he's got records. He's sophisticated.
And they make small talk with Keanu, and it sort of, starts off fairly tame. But then the girls get progressively more and more flirty and start talking about sex and how they're flight attendants and they love traveling the world and having multiple sexual partners. And they're the blonde says at one point, oh, I know when I get married, my husband is just gonna sleep around on me anyway, so that's why I want to do 3 ways. And so they're, sort of just getting closer and closer to asking Keanu to fuck them.
All right. I guess, Keanu, whatever.
The blonde chick at one point starts dancing and putting Keanu's hands on her, and she's just about to kiss him when the Uber driver arrives, and Keanu gets an alert on his iPhone. Thank you again, Apple. Keanu goes to get their clothes, but then he finds the 2 girls fully naked and sudsing themselves up in the bathtub. Keanu initially resists their advances, but finally gives in when they whip out his dick and start blowing him. We don't actually see the dick, but...
Okay.
Yep. So,
all right.
Knock, knock, Larry.
Who's there?
A little old lady.
A little old lady who?
Hey, Larry, I didn't know you could yodel.
Oh my! How did you convince such a lovely woman like your wife to spend the rest of her life with you? You fucking sponge of a man.
I showed her a cyanide capsule and told her how it's odorless and tasteless.
Oh my God, my ears are ringing. My fucking head's gonna explode by the end of this review.
The Uber driver leaves after a few minutes, and then they move to the bedroom and start fucking. Props to Eli Roth for cinematography and editing for the sex scene. A lot of times sex scenes, I get to watch a lady shake her butt and boobies and stuff. It's nice. But it's always kind of awkward where I'm just thinking too much about the actors faking this sex.
Right.
And it just seems weird.
Right.
But with this, it's a lot of quick cuts and close-ups where you're not, seeing the whole scene. You're just kind of seeing, Keanu's hand grabbing an ass and then, just various stuff like that.
Sure. Okay.
And it's just not, it feels more like a window into a passionate threesome than just kind of seeing it being simulated.
Okay.
And also, then you're not, it's a lot easier to get out of, they're definitely not really having sex, and they're probably a cloth between them, but we just can't see it because of the way it's shot. Right. It felt a lot more natural, so I give credit to that.
Fair enough, I guess.
Keanu wakes up in the morning and finds the girls in the kitchen making an absolute mess. There's scrambled eggs and cereal all over the counter. The brunette is flipping a pancake out of a pan super high up into the air. And
I'm going to go on a limb here. Say, if you've got a family and you're cheating on your family with a pair of young flight attendants, kick
Yes.
him out. Don't let him stay the night.
Well, he fell asleep. Keanu got all sleepy after he came a bunch in their pussies. I broke you, Larry.
So I fell out of my chair and pulled my headphones out. So sorry about that.
No, they have a shot of him like in between the two girls, just like snoozing in like post-coital paradise.
You really got me with that line. Oh, my ass.
So yeah, the brunette throws like a piece of sausage or a strawberry or something like all the way across the room, and the blonde girl catches it in her mouth. There's a family dog called Monkey, which for some reason bothered me. I don't know why. That just
It's a terrible
irritated
name
me.
for a dog.
But it's up on the table eating all the human food. And brunette, and they're just messy and like total hedonists. And brunette is like squirting syrup directly into her mouth from the bottle into like her chewed up pancakes.
Oh God.
Yeah. And Keanu's like, what the hell are you doing? Get out. And they're like, no, we're just making breakfast. Meanwhile, Keanu's wife FaceTimes him, and he panics and goes out into the yard and has a distracted conversation with her while he's like making sure to FaceTime so she can't see through the sliding glass door the two sexy ladies who are miming sex acts with each other while giggling inordinately.
Sure.
So after ending the call with wifey, Keanu goes back inside, and now he's pissed. He tells the girls, get the fuck dressed, and I'm going to drive you home. They act all pouty and like, oh, where's fun Keanu from last night? Why are you being so mean, Keanu? So he's like, I forget what he's doing, but he ends up, he says, I'm going to be outside at the car, be outside in 3 minutes.
Oh, God.
Meanwhile, they sneak off and start drawing dicks in Sharpie on wifey's new statue on the porch.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Keanu completely freaks out and starts calling the police, at which point the girls tell him, we're actually underage.
Oh, of course. Of course. They're
And
probably
you're gonna-
not, but...
Yep. And he's like, well, how could you be flight attendants? And they're like, we lied. So
Jesus Christ.
so he's going to
a
go to prison.
Lifetime movie? This seems like a Lifetime movie.
It's probably a Lifetime movie. He's going to go to prison for 20 years for statutory rape. Keanu doesn't end up calling the police and is panicking and asks them what they want, asks how much money do you want. He pulls his wallet out and is like, I'll give you whatever you want. And the girls are all indignant and say, we're not whores, Keanu. We love you. Spending the night with you.
What? Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to get so much weirder.
Are these women like succubi? Is that where this is going?
We'll see.
It's a horror movie, so that's a legitimate question. Are they succubi? They seem to have. I've heard it. I've played enough D&D with enough sexless losers. Bless you, my friends. To know what succubi sound like when they're written by a sexless loser. No offense to you, Eli Roth.
Larry, knock knock.
Who's there? Isaac, my friend. Who's there?
Cash.
See, I'm a prisoner. You're holding me hostage. Cash who?
No thanks. I prefer peanuts.
I'm calling the police.
Larry, I'm underage. You'll go to prison for statutory rape.
I never touched you.
Yeah.
I have 5,000 pictures of your bound naked body to prove it.
Oh, and that's another creepy thing where they're threatening him with going to the police for statutory rape, and like the one girl pulls her shorts down and like shows her panties, and it's like, I haven't taken a shower. I have all the evidence inside me.
Fucking wait a minute! This dumbass came inside of one of them at least.
I think both of them somehow. They imply later.
A, he's a better man than I. B, I mean, just, why would you? What is he snipped? This seems so foolish.
I don't know. It's implied
Jesus.
later he might have humped babies into them.
Oh, for God's sake, they're definitely succubi. Okay, I figured the whole movie out.
The doorbell rings, and it's the physical therapist who is supposed to have an appointment to work on Keanu's shoulder. Keanu tells the girls, stay here, do not move, and he goes out and makes some small talk and is like, oh, my shoulder's actually feeling a whole lot better. He tries to shoo her away, but of course the brunette opens the door and puts her hands all over Keanu, and just makes it seem like, yeah, they've been fucking.
What's happening? What's happening? What is happening? What is this movie? What is this? Just
the therapist.
Is he in hell? Is he in purgatory? Is that the twist?
Eli Roth probably thinks there's a lot more subtext to this movie than there actually is.
This sounds so terrible.
The physical therapist walks off in a huff, and she's like, "You're disgusting. You do your life however you want, but that's disgusting."
Listen, if you're telling somebody to do their life however they want, you can't also call them disgusting. You can pick a lane.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying. I'm so look. There's the fucking minor behind the scenes. We just recorded the last episode, and now this one, and I am fast running out of steam.
To be fair, I do my life however I want, and I also call myself disgusting. Does that help?
I hate myself, and just that's my end statement.
Oh yeah, okay. So Keanu, Keanu flips out and finally actually calls the police from an old-timey hipster pretentious rotary phone, which I know you would just hate, so that's why I had to mention it.
We've been pushing Apple this whole movie. Pick a lane.
He gets on the line with 911 and says, I want to report a break-in. But the brunette hangs up the phone because she can put her finger on the old-timey tab thing.
Oh, that's right. That's why.
Yeah. And plot hole, if you call the police and say I need to report a break-in, they will show up, even if the call gets disconnected immediately.
No, nowhere to lie. On Wednesday, I accidentally called 911. I ass dialed 911. They called me back. I hung up, not even realizing who I was hanging up on. I heard the phone ringing. I had headphones in. I heard the phone ringing and hung up, and then got an immediate call back, and they're like, are you being held against your will? I'm like, oh my God, no. I have a fat ass, and I sat on my phone. I'm so sorry. So yeah, no, they call you right back.
Yep. So, plot hole there.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, I can look past that, I guess. So, brunette hangs up the phone and finally says, all right, fine, just take us home. So, in a very awkward car ride, Keanu drops them off somewhere. I don't know. They end up walking through a park. It's really weird.
Okay.
And he goes back to the house and starts cleaning up everything and carefully stripping the Sharpie dicks off of Wifey's statue. We cut to later that night, and Keanu is back at work on his trusty iMac, only $12.99 from Apple. Get your work done faster, more professionally.
I really love the sound of your voice, and if you really tried, you could absolutely be a commercial voice guy.
Yeah,
that line you delivered half-assedly. No offense to you. You just that half-assed line you delivered. If you could refine that and absolutely do like a. Why don't you try and sell me a new Dodge Caravan, right? Or Durango? I don't know. Fucking never mind. This whole bit's falling apart. Never mind. Forget it.
Larry, do you need to be in a new Jeep Durango Dodge that's really fast and makes ladies fall in love with you and suck your dick on street corners?
See,
and you don't even have to pay for it.
Without all the dirty words and opinions, not even people having to pay for it. I could see that voice selling me a Dodge Durango.
Well, make a product for me to sell, and I'll help you market it.
Done. Sold.
Okay.
We'll go on Shark Tank. You'll be my pitch man.
Okay. Any idea what the product is? Please say gasoline-powered dildo.
Wet shirt.
Socks? Wet shirt.
A wet shirt. It comes pre-wet, so you don't have to wet it.
That's it's beautiful. I love it.
I'm a genius.
Do you need a wet shirt?
See, I want to buy a wet shirt from you.
Okay. So yeah, he's working on his iMac. He hears the sound of breaking glass. And it's a long, 90-second scene where he's like walking through the dark house. Of course, he doesn't turn any lights on because why would you? It's a horror movie. And he finds a broken picture frame on the middle of the floor of him and his wife. And just as he goes to pick it up, Brunette hits him over the head with one of his wife's statues.
Okay.
We then cut to Brunette putting on makeup with ungodly amounts of eyeshadow, where it's just like all over like her cheek and like the side of her face. So she's purposely trying to look crazy. And it's a cool shot because she's like, it's a shot of her in the mirror, and we see two versions of her, like the real one and the mirror shot. And then in the background of the mirror, you can see Keanu tied to the bed behind her.
Okay, all right.
So that I like that shot. And then
sure, yeah, I can appreciate some good cinematography, sure.
He sort of slowly wakes up and realizes he's tied to the bed, and he starts freaking out. But Brunette ignores him and just keeps putting on makeup. Blonde then comes into the room
cheesy,
wearing...
but okay.
What's that?
Little cheesy, but okay.
Yeah. Blonde comes into the room wearing Keanu's daughter's school uniform and panties.
Oh, no. I'm out on all this. I'm out on all of this. I'm out.
And there is, in the IMDb section, there is like a plot hole thing, and there are just, like continuity errors, and there were a couple things. But one was... Keanu's daughter is portrayed as an 8-year-old girl. There's no way this grown woman would fit into her school uniform and panties.
Yeah. Oh God! Please stop saying panties.
I'm sorry, I can't. Are you ready to get so much more uncomfortable?
Oh, no! Oh man!
Keanu yells, "Take those off right now! Those are my daughters!"
Okay, so, if you're tied to a bed by two apparent lunatics, I feel like at that point I'm beyond caring that this insane woman is wearing my daughter's clothes.
Yeah,
I feel like that is the least of my concerns at this
I'd be
point.
more immediately afraid.
Yeah,
but she, of course, takes the panties off and then shows him her bald pussy. We don't actually get to see it, and then stuffs the panties in Keanu's mouth.
No! Oh no! Oh God! Oh Lord! Oh God! Oh, I hate that so much. Oh man! Oh God! That's so uncomfortable. Oh no!
Then she climbs on top of him. Remember, her pussy's all out and about. And calls him daddy and says a bunch of crazy stuff like, "Daddy, why are you being nice to me?" And then she gets angry and starts slapping him in the face really hard.
Okay.
And Keanu's wife then FaceTimes him, but the girls grab his phone and they're about to answer, but he pleads with them not to and says, I'll do whatever you want, just don't answer the phone. So then Blonde starts raping him and barking like a dog while Brunette videos it on Keanu's iPhone.
Okay. This is very strange.
Yeah. Yes, it is. This is a weird movie.
What is...
She sets the phone down, like on the makeup table, so it's still filming the rape that's taking place, and goes to get some food. During the forceful rape sex, Keanu manages to break one of his hands free and throws Blonde to the floor where she hits her head and is like, oh. So he quickly unties himself and then runs in the hallway and sees Brunette standing in the hallway eating from a bowl and runs up to her and starts choking her against the wall. But she stabs him right in his injured shoulder with the fork, twisting it in the wound, and he falls down. She climbs on top and keeps twisting the fork in his shoulder until he passes out from pain.
Oh God, man, I have hated every part of this movie so far.
Larry, knock knock.
Oh, God, I'm feeling very ill. No visitors today, please. Who's there?
Kanga.
Are they all the same? Is it the same punchline every time? You
Pretty
fucking
much.
hack. Goddamn Gene Hackman over here. Kanga who?
Larry, it's pronounced kangaroo. Come on,
How
you
foolish of me. The police have been called. Your mother is on her way.
Oh, God. So Keanu wakes up tied to a chair, again with his daughter's panties in his mouth, and now with headphones on.
Stop it. Christ.
What color are the daughter's panties, Larry?
Pink, I'm sure.
Of course, they're pink. They got a little rainbow unicorn on the front, too.
This is awful. That is fucking wretched. If whatever kind of sexual play between consenting adults, to each their own, I guess, but the daughter's I can't, I don't even like to say it. I'm feeling fucking uncomfortable being in a room thinking about it. It's like I'm going to stand in a field miles away from humanity to even think about how awful that is.
Oh, God. So the girls start a makeshift game show where they start asking him questions like, how far will you have to pick your children up from school as a registered sex offender? 100 yards, 500 yards, whatever.
That's kind of funny.
And when he doesn't cooperate, she blasts incredibly loud static through the headphones, causing him extreme pain, and he starts yelling, no, I'll go deaf. And they go through a couple more questions, and they get to the final question. What should the punishment be for someone who has sex with a child? Should it be 20 years in prison, castration, or death? And then there's this tense moment. Oh, the cat is here. Kai, yes, you need to go.
Is that... Oh.
That's Mo, not Moxie.
Okay. Just wandered into frame.
Yeah, he's probably going to wander right back, as he tends to do. God damn it. Oh, you little shitbird.
Technical difficulties.
I just shot some canned air in his face, so now he's scared.
Just spritz him with olive oil is what it looked like.
Like, my cat's greasy.
It's just going to have a fucking Rocky go out and chase it in the yard. Greasy, fast, speed rock.
So
okay.
Prison, castration, or death. And
it's the worst version of fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah, that's true. But then there's a knock on the door. Knock. Larry.
Who's there?
Oh, this actually isn't a joke time.
Oh.
There's actually a knock on the door.
Well, then who's there?
Oh, the assistant.
Okay, fuck.
He's there to pick up the statue. The girls shove Keanu in a bedroom, and, he's gagged with the panties. His daughter's panties, if that wasn't clear.
Jesus, man, you are the worst.
They pretend to be Keanu's nieces. So the assistant goes to get the statue, and he sees that it's been vandalized. And
I thought he stripped it off. Didn't he clean it off?
No, they re-vandalized it.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That was pointless.
Yeah, that's one of the complaints about the movie, is that it kind of just sort of does the same thing over again a few times.
Dumb.
So the girls try to talk their way out of it, but then he kind of quickly realizes, what the fuck is this? No, I'm calling the police. What is happening? So he's about to call the police, but then he hears Keanu's muffled screams through his daughter's panties that are in his mouth. So
you're a bad man, and I'm going to get revenge on you for this.
So he ends up not calling the police conveniently, but goes to toward Keanu's muffled screams. But
everybody in a horror movie is an idiot.
It's established earlier that he's an asthmatic, and like he has his inhaler and he starts wheezing.
Oh, Keanu or
the assistant?
Okay.
And as he goes to rescue Keanu, the brunette reaches into his coat pocket and yoinks his inhaler. Dun dun dun.
Okay, how did she know that?
She saw him puff once, like when they were making their small talk and they were trying to talk their way out of it.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
This is, man, I'm glad I didn't watch this, because this just sounds fucking awful.
And that's a thing they definitely missed, because they didn't show him with the inhaler when he came to the house earlier. So they
didn't. That's so easy.
I know, and that they had to do it so the girls saw it, so they knew.
Yeah, right.
But they could have done both. It's just a puff on an inhaler. It doesn't have to be a thing.
Right.
But you can't Chekhov's gun scene. Something a minute before it's the gun.
You have to establish that Chekhov's gun exists in the scenes before for it to be.
It can't be in the same scene.
Can't be a smoking gun if there's no gun to smoke.
Smoking is bad for your health. Tell that gun to quit.
Thank you. Was that a knock-knock joke, or you come up with that yourself, father?
Oh, myself.
How's your wife, by the way? When this deluge of knock-knock jokes, I'm sure she's never been happier to be married to you.
Swaying from the rafters in the garage, and I won't say if she or I is responsible.
Fuck. Fuck, man. It's getting too dark.
Hey, there's no panties in her mouth, I'll tell you that.
You've got to step back from this bit of it. You're getting too dark. Jesus.
It's Eli Roth. He did it. I blame him. He put this in my head.
He's putting a lot of things in places they don't belong.
Larry, it's pronounced kangaroo.
Do the accent.
Larry, it's pronounced kangaroo. Gotta go down to the Macca's, get French fries, get the little boys, have them sit on our laps and get hard.
I think about that. like 3 times a week. And it's one of those things where it's like, there's nobody I can talk about this with in my life. It's like just one of those things that's in my head that only I think about, and I can't do anything with it.
I'm glad it's stuck there.
It's torture.
I think it's the same for my wife too. Every once in a while, like
I'm sure it is.
It'll come up, and yeah, I'll just do the whole thing. She's getting good at the Australian accent too. So, oh god, the assistant goes and finds Keanu in the bedroom, but then hears the girls starting to destroy the statue. So, like, he pulls. There's like a pillowcase on Keanu's head. He pulls that off. I guess he takes the indiscriminate gag out of Keanu's mouth.
Thanks.
And Keanu's like, no, they're crazy, they're dangerous, no! But he runs off to the statue and sees them like just destroying it with like hammers and baseball bats. And he just starts freaking out and screaming at the top of his lungs, which causes him to start having an asthma attack. He reaches for his inhaler and finds it's not gone. And the 2 girls then proceed to play monkey in the middle.
No.
With his inhaler.
Oh, okay. The dog's name was Monkey, and I thought...
Oh, no.
I thought I was going to... I cannot... I want you to tell you right now, I've had a bit of a rough couple of weeks, and I cannot listen to a dog dying. So if they kill the dog, I need you to make it really vague. Or tell me so you can tell the audience, and I will pull my headphones off, because I don't think I can handle that right now.
The dog does not die in the movie.
Okay.
It's a little unclear what happens to it, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. That's
and there's actually an alternate ending that I forget if they shot or not, but I'll get into that later.
Okay. Well, and also, just to speak on asthma, I have been an asthmatic my whole life, and not how it works. I think we talked about this in one of the other that movie I watched. Fuck, what was it? With Ice Cube. Are we there yet? Yeah.
Oh, right.
Especially if the assistant used his inhaler like 5 minutes ago before he went up to help Keanu, he's not gonna have an asthma attack that fast. It's a steroid that works in your lungs. Like, it might suck, but he's not gonna, like, it's immediate relief. Like, it's the fastest working medicine I've ever had in my life is an inhaler. It's like I can feel it within seconds. I can feel it working. So, like,
another plot hole.
Yeah, if he just took a hit of his fucking albuterol bong, he's going to be okay for at least 20 minutes. At least. Christ.
Oh, God. So, yeah, they're tossing the inhaler back and forth over his head, and he's getting more and more panicked. Then he slips on a broken piece of the statue and falls, cracking his head open on the base of the statue and dying immediately.
Of course. The second you said he knocked on the door, I knew he was dead.
Yep.
Of course.
Keanu, who's still tied up, he's in like a rolling chair and tied up to that. He managed to shimmy to the sliding glass door to witness the murder and cries out in his worst acting. It's just a close-up on his face. You killed him! You killed him!
Oh my God.
And it's just shitty fake anguish that's so...
Jesus.
It's the hammiest. It's spam. It's so bad.
Oh, God.
I think, Larry, this is the last knock-knock joke, okay?
Thank you, Jesus.
So, knockety knock.
Who-itty-who-itty's there?
Mikey.
Mikey who?
My key isn't working. Can you let me in? That one was different.
You know, you're a very funny man.
Thank you.
I've valued your comedy since the day we met a long time ago.
Oh, God.
Maybe the least funny thing you've ever said. And the worst part is I know you think that somewhere in your mind you think that's funny.
Yeah.
And that's the part that kills me. That's the part that I'm disappointed in you.
The humor comes from your suffering.
You're going to be a great dad because you've nailed it. And you've already think that shit's funny.
Yeah.
Boy, I can't wait to meet your kid.
Abuse the children until they're laughing. I don't know. I don't know how to parent.
Oh, my God.
So
I need to sit down.
Man.
This is awful.
The girls start paper macheing the dead assistant's body.
What is happening? What is happening?
And they paint it orange. And they load it into the truck he brought to transport the statue. So now his corpse is the statue.
God's sake. I'm just so upset at a movie I didn't even see.
Yeah. Oh, God. The girls then tell Keanu... they go back after the murder, and then they finish playing the game show game. So they question prison, castration, or death. And the correct answer is death. Okay. And they say they're going to execute him at sunrise. And he freaks out and has a long speech where he's like, "You came to my house, you sudsed up your boobies in my bathtub, and you started the sex."
Here's the thing, okay? I obviously haven't seen. I saw maybe 3 minutes of this movie total from a little bit skipping around. There is, just from what you've described, there is a 0% chance that whatever the explanation is, if there even is one given, that it will be in any way remotely satisfying. There is no circumstance that could ever make this satisfying. No, zero. There is a 0 chance of this being anything remotely resembling interesting or good. 0%.
Yeah, I would agree with that
assessment. If you can think of one, let me know. Email it and let me know if you can write an ending to this point that'll make me satisfied. And I know I'm a hard man to satisfy, and I hate everything. But honestly, what good can come of this?
So much good. It's going to be great. You're going to love it.
Don't you lie to me, you sexy son of a bitch.
So they're going to execute him at dawn, and they go outside and start digging his grave in the backyard, which he gets to watch through the sliding glass door.
Fucking sake. Did you ever see The Purge? The first one?
No.
There's a scene, and I think it was in the trailer too. There's a scene where the fucking house, without explaining the entire movie, The Purge, their house, the main character's family, the house is barricaded, and there's a bunch of creepy kids outside wearing masks. We're like, we're gonna kill you because the Purge, we're gonna purge you, purge. And they're fucking, there's like this scene where they're watching like through the fucking doorbell cam of like these kids who are waiting to purge this family, like jumping and dancing around in front of the camera and trying to be creepy. And that's all, and it's so like, nothing. It's like they're wearing like fucking, oh, this guy, he's wearing a Richard Nixon mask and he's holding a knife and he's doing that weird head tilt thing. Oh, he's gonna kill me. And it's like just so vapid fucking, it's like eating a fart of nothing. And that's all this is just two girls just fucking, we're gonna be creepy and dig his grave and make him watch. Ooh, fuck you, Eli Roth. You've always been a hack and I've always known it. Christ, I'm so upset.
So Keanu manages to use his feet to get a iPad, only $999 for the 256 gigabyte model, off the coffee table.
It comes in snowfall white and daughter's panties pink.
You brought it up again.
Buy now at your nearest Apple store.
Oh my God!
When life gives you lemons.
So he uses his feet to try to call his wife from the iPad, but the girls catch him.
Boy,
before
honey, do I have
the call
a funny
connects.
story for you.
Oh God, a foot dialing?
No, just no. This is him. Boy, honey, do I have a funny story for you? Check this shit out.
So the call doesn't quite connect, and the girls come back in and turn the iPad off or throw it out the window or whatever. They then reveal that they've been spying on him and his family since before they showed up in the rain.
Yep, knew it wouldn't be interesting. Knew it wouldn't be interesting. Yep, that's dumb. That's dumb.
That's where the monster thing comes back, because they're mocking him and they're like, "Ooh, you're the daddy monster," and he's like, "How did you know that? Have you been spying on me?" So
fucking stupid. So stupid. Continue.
The girls go around the house vandalizing it and destroying all his wife's artwork. They spray paint and use lipstick to write awful things like whore on top of his wife's face on all the family pictures.
Oh, that's why there's so many pictures. So they have so many unique ideas to vandalize his family.
Yep. I didn't write most of them down. The only one that was remotely, because it was just on the family picture written in red, "Your dad has AIDS now." So I don't even know what to make of that.
That's just dumb in a 4chan way, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, Lord almighty. So
Pools closed because of AIDS.
The whole house is destroyed. They start smashing his records. They cut holes in the couch with knives and rip the stuffing out. Just the whole house is trashed.
Isaac, this doesn't happen that often. I am very upset about your movie that I didn't watch.
I feel like it happens more often than you think.
It happened with Arthur. I got really mad too, but like lately, maybe more so. But this is just, I am incensed at how shitty this is.
I got to give you some Eli Roth movies, man.
You've already did one. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch fucking Michael Cera next week. Talentless hack.
Oh, got him. So one of the statues they bust opens up and reveals a hidden handgun inside. That's where they hide their handgun for protection from their kids.
In a statue? Okay, I'm not even going to question it. Fine, sure.
And because when the girls were off doing stuff and he was tied to the chair, he was like trying to bump into the shelf the statue was on, and we weren't quite sure why.
Okay,
that's why he was trying to get the gun.
I'm sure it probably looks better than it does in my head, but okay.
Yeah. But now they have the gun, and they're banter about it. And then Brunette's pointing the gun at Keanu and tells the blonde to untie him, and that they're going to play hide and seek. Poor Larry.
If this doesn't get a 1 or a 0 from you, I'm going to be supremely disappointed.
You're going to be supremely disappointed.
Yep, I know it. I know I am. Fuck.
He has 30 seconds to hide somewhere in the house.
Great joke.
And if he leaves the house, they will shoot him.
Okay.
But if
As opposed to what? As opposed to what?
If he can successfully hide until dawn, they will leave and not execute him.
Okay.
So he runs into the kitchen, grabs a knife and a pan, and then hides somewhere. We don't know where. They don't show it. The girls start searching for him, and they never showed where he was even hiding. He's just kind of sneaking around the house and makes a run for the front door. But as he's going down the driveway, he trips and falls, and the knife goes flying incredibly far away, and the pan is mysteriously gone. He's just not in the picture anymore.
Dun, 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 dun. Just a knife spinning slowly in air.
Yep, and the brunette catches up to him on the ground with the gun and doesn't shoot him, but yells at him some more.
Well, again, that's my question of, is it like suburbia, or how far in the sticks is he? So, like, I know you said the Hollywood Hills, but like, how close is he to another person in theory?
They don't really show any of the neighboring houses.
Okay, so he's somewhat isolated in some manner.
Yeah, there are neighboring houses. They make some line where like it doesn't even make sense, but the girls he's screaming for help at this point, and the girls say, "No one else is home. We knocked on all the other doors." I don't.
That is immensely. Oh, my eyes are uncrossing. Okay, go ahead. Yep, go on.
It's definitely not normal suburbia where he has a neighbor he can like wave to when he picks up his newspaper across the street.
Right.
It's rich people neighborhood, so people should be able to hear him scream in theory, but I guess they're not home.
Okay,
I don't know, man.
Yep.
So we now cut to dawn, and the girls have Keanu tied up again, and they're rolling him across the grass over to the grave.
I just don't. Oh my god. Okay. Yep. How much longer is
not
this?
Much.
Good.
We're almost done.
Fuck's sake.
They proceed to bury him up to his neck in dirt, and he's got a little gag in his mouth. That's probably the Netflix thumbnail. Okay. It's not panties this time.
Okay.
So there's that at least.
I'm trying to figure out, did they dig a grave or just fucking like a Bugs Bunny hole? What?
No, that's the fucking thing. They dug a full-sized grave and then
stood him up in it?
Yes. I know.
I want to break something. I need something to break.
Oh god. So they're preparing to kill him because now it's dawn, and they've
been preparing to kill him for 45 minutes.
Well, now it's dawn. It's time. It's time to go. Now, the movie's called Knock Knock, and there hasn't been any mention of a knock knock joke. There's just been the girls knocking, and I think they ring the doorbell. I don't even think they knock. I think the only guy who knocks is the assistant. I don't really remember that.
So really,
I don't remember that for sure.
He's the real victim. His death.
But now the brunette says, knock, knock. And Keanu doesn't play along, naturally, because he's just done with his shit, and he's screaming his head off, like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, you fucking bitches, you bitches. And the blonde sort of starts playing along and says, "Who's there?" And then it doesn't do anything. They don't have a joke. Why is it called Knock Knock? Why?
I don't know.
I need you to hold a knife to Eli Roth's throat and find out why it's called Knock Knock.
Listen, we're 2 Eli Roth movies deep on Battles of Netflix. If I have to watch the third one, he may end up in the back of my van.
So, Brunette raises a big chunk of like marble or stone from a sculpture up above her head. She's going to crush Keanu with it, and he screams, but she drops the marble just to the right of his head. And the 2 girls fall down on the ground, laughing their asses off. You thought we were actually going to kill you? Oh, my God.
I'm going to kill myself.
So the girls say, we're never going to kill you. It's all just a game. And now we're going to move on to the next one. And Blonde says, no one ever says no matter how much they love their family. So that's the explanation. They go around and seduce lonely fathers into having sex with them, and then torture them and ruin their lives as much as possible and show off the infidelity of the father.
And?
That's it? That's it?
Your sentence seemed to have come to an end. And that certainly cannot be the end of that sentence.
That would be the end of that sentence, sir. Sorry to disappoint.
Okay.
I guess
continue.
They don't like infidelity.
I can't even. Just. Oh my God. That may be the worst plot. Just continue. Just continue.
Okay.
Just. Oh my God.
So before they leave, they're like, "Oh, sorry, I have your iPhone 12, only $6.99 at your local Apple store."
If you think an iPhone 12 is $6.99, you are drunk.
No, I think the lowest model is.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's like 64 gigs. So
I didn't think
not
phones went any less for like $1,000 anymore.
No, the Apple actually made them cheaper.
How about that?
Anyway, Blonde says, "Oh yeah, they have your phone. And you really should log out of Facebook. Otherwise, someone who has your phone could post anything they want on your account." So they post the sex rape video. You can't quite tell it's rape, I guess, because she's just fucking him while he's tied to the bed, to his Facebook account. And then they stick the phone into the ground so he can watch all of the angry comments flowing in from his friends. He struggles and is just barely able to break his one hand free. And this kind of made the movie for me. Just because it's the stupidest thing, but like I've just fully got into, okay, campy horror movie, not taking itself seriously at all. He manages, he's watching all these comments like, "Unfriended, my children can see this, you're disgusting, what a pig." And he's like crying, and he breaks his one hand free from the dirt, and you see his finger like shaking and going to hover over the delete button, but his finger's shaking too much, and he likes the post instead. And then that's Wrath of Khan, like the camera zooms out and he screams, "No!" That's
pretty good. That's actually pretty great.
Yeah.
All right, I like that.
It's so stupid.
That actually, wow. You know what? I'm okay with it getting a 2 now, because that is not. Is that how it ends?
Not quite. So right after that,
now I'm back. That should be how the movie ends.
Yes.
If it fucking pulled back to space and just the credits rolled, it might be a 10 out of 10 movie, because that is a phenomenal bit.
That would have been better.
Liking his own rape video. Jesus Christ. Oh Lord. Holy shit! This is the worst movie I've ever not seen.
So we get a long Steadicam shot that mirrors the one in the beginning of the nice pristine house, of the now fully vandalized house, and just see the extent of the destruction. And then at the end of the shot, we see the family, the wife and kids, coming home, and they're kind of just making small talk as they come up the driveway, and they open the door and then just stare, and there's like dead silence for 15 seconds as they're looking around like, what the hell happened? And remember, the assistant said, "Your dad and I are going to have one crazy party." So the little boy says, "Daddy sure had a party."
back to
And
it.
that's the end of the movie.
It's negative 5,000. It's negative 5,000. It's negative 5,000. I am upset at how upset you aren't.
I'm definitely upset.
Now,
but...
granted, I didn't see it, so I'm going off of hearsay. But holy Jesus, Allah, and Jehoshaphat. What the fuck?
And there's some other stuff in there where the girls take the dead assistant's phone and Keanu's phone and send some text like that the assistant caught Keanu having sex with girls and then Keanu was going to kill him. So they're kind of trying to frame him for the death of the assistant.
Who? I have 1,000 questions, and I know you can't answer any of them because you didn't write this.
No, I can't.
You're innocent. You're innocent.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I'm flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted. I can't believe this was made.
Eli Roth, baby.
Honestly, if I had to review that movie, that might be the worst movie I've ever seen.
You wouldn't do well with
just
it.
from the description, that might be that. I am fucking livid beyond anything a man hearing about a movie should ever care about. This is supposed to be a week of joy because you're suffering, and yet I'm the one suffering more somehow.
Oh, that I'm delighted.
Wrap it up.
So the two women steal the show completely. Their acting is really good.
I haven't seen it, so I can't say. But how is that possible?
I think they're both just talented. And the roles are it's crazy campy horror movie over the top nonsense. But especially like in the beginning they come off as like kind of nervous and flirty and then slowly get more sexual, and they do it really well where they very slowly like keep turning it up, and it's like a frog boiling in water.
All right.
They do it really well with their performance. Keanu's just squirming like an uncomfortable married man the whole time, and his performance is a fucking pile of shit.
All right.
And then especially what's her name? I should look it up. Not Ana de Armas. Who's the other one? Lorenza Izzo or Lizzo. Izzo? Oh fuck, I don't know, whatever. But she's kind of the more intense villain, like the angrier villain, where Ana de Armas is, she's more the bubbly one who keeps calling Keanu daddy and is like, I love you so much, daddy. Daddy, you're my favorite.
Oh, God.
But Izzo's mean intensity, it plays up well. And she's legitimately kind of scary at times. So that saves a lot of it.
Okay.
Sure. And the phone Facebook thing made me very happy.
That is great. That's a really fucking amazing gag.
That absolutely should have been the complete ending.
Yeah, and it's a great stupid hacky gag in like a movie that is taking itself way 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 too seriously. From what it sounds like to me anyway. Like that's phenomenal.
And that's, again, not being a horror buff, it's hard to know what stuff in the movie might be, like, if you know a lot about horror cinema, might just be an out-and-out joke that it's, they're just doing this for this reason, and it's obviously just funny and not meant to be taken seriously. So there's definitely that layer of it. It was...
Yeah, I mean, Eli Roth is respected by, like, people in the industry, I guess. So, like, there must be something there that I'm just not getting.
And, yeah, generally horror movies, especially campy horror movies, aren't my cup of tea. So this movie definitely isn't for me. Having said that, I never really wanted to stop watching it. I always was like, where are they going to go next? What is going to happen next? Oh my God.
I'm so disappointed in you.
Wasn't invested in like, oh God, what's going to happen to poor Keanu? It was just like, what the fuck is this movie going to do next, for God's sake? Jesus Christ. So yeah, it never felt like I wanted to turn it off or leave the room. Was always just intrigued enough. So you're going to hate me, Larry, but I gave it a 3. Definitely.
That seems impossible.
Definitely not.
I thought
good.
you were going to say 5, and I was
No.
I was going to get up and walk away, and you could finish the goddamn episode yourself.
No, not a 5. It's definitely a lot of problems with it, and the whole story is just trash and nonsensical.
Lord. Yeah, I guess that mirrors what the critic and audience review was, wasn't it? Yeah, wasn't the audience review 20 and the critics 30?
Yeah, 36, I think.
Oh, 36.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's
ass.
I haven't seen it, and I'm me, and I tend to be over the top. So I'm sure, I'm sure I'm making a lot of eggs that aren't actually there. Out of I don't know what that phrase was, but I'm making a lot of assumptions about something I haven't seen. In fairness, but oh god, that sounded so awful.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever watch it again. I think I can clearly say that.
Well, thank God. I would have to question some things if you did.
Oh, Kate and I watched half of Seventh Son, and we're not going to watch the second half. But yeah, she was perplexed and concurred that I did not exaggerate at all with spook. It was not remotely an exaggeration. It was really how insane he sounded.
Yeah, I was listening to the episode before that for whatever reason again, and I'd mentioned apparently in the lead up that it was based off a book called The Spook's Apprentice, and somehow we just that passed over us the first time.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so the book is even. I guess that's just a bad call, man. Whoever made that call,
unless they wrote it in 1920 or something.
Even then, I mean, that's even worse. Honestly,
yeah, maybe. Well, I don't know when that term took on the racial meaning.
Yeah, that's
to
true.
Be fair,
I don't know.
So. But
at
any rate, all right, Larry. Next week you're watching Year One, which is a delicious Michael Cera, Jack Black, Harold Ramis feature. But
I really don't like either of them. And Harold Ramis is going to break my heart. Going to break my heart to dislike something of his.
The week after that, it is coming back around to me. So what do you have in store for me, Larry, as I pull up Netflix, because I'm prepared?
Well, I'll vamp. Yeah, we did a little minor, if you heard last week's episode, we did a little minor change. In the past, we had been doing both the next set of episodes on Isaac's viewings, but now we're going to do at the end of each episode, the host is going to get their next movie for 2 weeks from now. So 2 weeks from now, you are going to be watching something that is the brandest, spankingest, newest thing on Netflix you've ever had.
Oh, snap.
I have got my thumb so far in the pulse, I can still feel the lifeless breaths as it's bleeding out in my arms. You are going to, and this is a slight, this just was, I saw this the day it came out, and I was like, fucking nailed it. I had forgotten that I had it already in my queue, so this is great, because that was a couple days ago now.
Oh.
This is a little bit of payback for a little movie you gave me about the fucking puppets, which I forget the name of already on purpose.
Shit.
Melissa McCarthy stars in Thunder Force.
Oh, I passed over that. Damn it.
Well, don't worry. You'll get a good chance to see it now.
Oh, that thumbnail.
Yeah, thumbnail indeed.
Oh, come on, Netflix. God, Jesus, stop. God. Two childhood best friends reunite as an unlikely crime-fighting superhero duo when one invents a formula that gives ordinary people superpowers. Oh, Jesus, fuck, man.
I gotta start hitting you where you live.
Oh. You know what the scary thing is? This is a 97% match for me.
Our Netflixes are just fucked. This show has ruined it.
Yes. Oh, God. Oh, God.
They saw how much you liked Zoom, starring Tim Allen.
Well, at least Coffee and Kareem is only 61%. There's that.
I wonder what it is for me since I actually watched it. 125% match. We're actually starting it against your will, sir. So yes, Melissa McCarthy in a superhero movie made in 2021.
She was good as Sean Spicer on SNL.
That is the weakest justification I have ever heard.
I'm scared, Larry. I'm scared. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. It looks hideous.
Damn it.
It's also fucking getting it off the tracks for me, too.
Yeah, this is true. That was. I had gone past it and was like, oh, Melissa McCarthy. I should check that out in the future.
Getting it out of the way of fucking from blocking up my Suez Canal. That's a hot meme still, right? Y'all kids like your evergreen? I already forget. The memes come when the memes go. I'm sure there was a lot of hot TikToks about it.
There definitely were. Should have hopped on that Suez Canal train. We missed out.
Yeah, well.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. We live on the internet. Facebook, Twitter, We're the only Bowels of Netflix in your life. Email us, bowelsofnetflix@gmail.com. Make sure to rate, make sure to subscribe, set to download, tell your friends, tell your family, kill your grandma, whatever you need to do.
God, I feel like I just had bad sex. Oh, I feel awful.
Hey, at least your mouth is free of girl panties.
That alone. Oh my God, that's so terrible. Negative 5,000.
And part of my reason for it, because it worked as a horror movie just for the disgust factor of stuff like that, and
I mean, you saw. I guess I wish we had the video of my reaction because I think I curled up into a human fucking pretzel.
Oh yes,
it got a very visceral reaction out of me. So
yes.
I think that's incredibly cheap. That's the jump scare of visceral hate. But you know,
it did its job.
Yeah,
low hanging fruit, but yeah. Oh well. All right. Well, stay tuned for next week. Michael Cera is coming hot and fast to your face.
Have I done Michael Cera yet in the show? Because it seems impossible that I haven't.
I don't think so, no. Because there wasn't... I think the only one online for a long time was Scott Pilgrim, which, I don't know, I just didn't want to do that. Because some people really like that one.
Yeah, I think there's enough of that I would like that it wouldn't be very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen it, but it seems like it's nerdy and up my alley. It also
your one should be rough.
Yeah, it references my favorite video game of all time, which I know about. So we don't need to give me anything I like. Why do that to me?
No.
The show is designed for me to suffer. I mean, that's
exactly that's the point.
Man.
All right, well, stay tuned for next week. We love you so much. Thank you for listening.
Smell you later. Buy an iPad, $6.99. Color a girl's panties. Oh. I got nothing. I'm getting bad at these. You got to start doing the smell you laters. I'm getting really.